Hey guys, for Complex News, I'm Natasha Martinez. After 8 years and 8 seasons, winter has finally come and gone in the series finale of Game of Thrones. Millions watched as the final chapter came to a close on Sunday night, but as most know, this last season of Game of Thrones was muddled with polarizing opinions as to how the writers ended the series. So, now that the show is done, the verdict is in. Game of Thrones managed to drop the ball and upset fans into a frenzy, even causing over 1 million angry people calling to sign a petition for a remake of the 8th season with competent writers. Which brings us to wonder, is finishing off a beloved series in a way where everyone is happy even possible? Many have tried and many have failed, but there are a handful of series that stay true to their longtime viewers and dedicated fans, leaving them satisfied and ready to move on to whatever other entertainment option they so choose. That being said, here is a list of some television finales that were awesome and others that were so bad they completely ruined the entire series. The Office. There hasn't been a more beloved American sitcom quite like The Office after the show shut its doors officially on May 16, 2013. Just ask Billie Eilish. But even though it's been 6 years since we've seen the employees of Dunder Mifflin, their legacy lives on quite frequently in pop culture. Whether it's quoting Michael Scott or deciding who the Jim to your Pam is in your own personal dating life, The Office has taken over the minds and hearts of viewers no matter if they watch the show from its inception or binge it all one night on Netflix. The Office was just one of those shows that got better and better as you grew to know and love the characters, and that's why the series finale was so perfect. Even though the show's ratings and interest had declined after Steve Carell exited, the finale managed to bring back everything that was so lovable about the show. Each character had their proper send-off. Jim and Pam worked out their marital differences, Angela and Dwight got married, Creed got escorted off the premises in handcuffs, and Michael Scott came back for one last "that's what she said" zinger. It was funny and nostalgic and the sweetest way to end the beloved series. How I Met Your Mother. Imagine sitting through 208 episodes of a show about meeting one character only to find out that that character dies and the entire plot was a waste. Well, that's what happened in the series finale of How I Met Your Mother, a show that went on for 9 seasons. Each episode started out the same. The show's main character, Ted, narrates to his children the story of how he met their mother. However, in the series' final episode, viewers find out in a matter of minutes that their mother passes away. The kids in the show were just as unimpressed with Ted's story as the viewers were, and they revealed that the only reason Ted went on about his love life was to reveal that he actually was in love with Robin, one of his early on and off again love interests, and his best friend Barney's ex-wife. Fans were upset at the fact that Ted and Robin had had their moment in the sun many times over and were proven to be a bad match. Fans were also confused at how the bulk of the final season was circulated around Robin and Barney's wedding, only to find out that they call it quits shortly after. Viewers were beside themselves, and many blamed the show creators Carter Bays and Craig Thomas for completely throwing away the entire series in a matter of the episode's 40-minute runtime. Mad Men. Poetic is how most people describe the series finale of Mad Men. The series' final moments show Don Draper meditating in the California sun, finally at peace after 7 grueling seasons, and then smiling just before you hear a tranquil chime go off in the background. The scene then abruptly cuts to the famous real-life 1971 Coca-Cola ad, "I'd like to teach the world to sing," and viewers are left to wonder whether Don's search of self-betterment led him to peace or led him to fuel the sales virtuoso he truly was and always meant to be. In a way, it was very Sopranos-esque. The finale could be seen as open-ended with no concrete evidence of what exactly happened. However, for most fans, the finale left them completely satisfied. Time magazine's James Poniwozik said it was TV's most cheerful, upbeat, miserable ending in the history of finales, and diehard Mad Men fans would agree. Dexter. As far as series finales goes, Dexter is right up there with the worst of them. After 4 good seasons and 4 not-so-great ones, the show wrapped itself in its own body bag when, after years of serial killing and struggling to separate himself from the dark passenger, aka the urge to kill, writers decided to allow Dexter to choose to stop killing and live a life of solitude as a lumberjack in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't seem like the correct fate for the most ravenous serial killer in history. In fact, the whole finale played it safe and diluted pretty much every storyline that fans had been waiting to gain closure for years. Actor Michael C. Hall, who played Dexter, felt the same pain fans did when he found out the fate of his character. During an AMA on Reddit back in 2014, Michael was asked what his reaction was to reading the final scene, to which he replied, probably sadness. Still, he did try and defend the writers for the fate they gave his character. He said, "Given what Dexter had been through and his attempts to have his cake and eat it too in regards to indulging his compulsion to kill and have a more authentic life, his self-imposed exile did resonate. I think Dexter came to believe that anything he touched would eventually be destroyed, and so he felt he needed to let it all go. Of course, Dexter is also a pragmatist and a self-preservationist, so he didn't do himself in, but rather put himself on hold." But therein lies the problem. It's the series finale. You can't just let the show's main character stay on hold, especially if you're going to make him a forest lumberjack. R.I.P. Dexter. Breaking Bad. A lot of shows can learn a thing or two from Breaking Bad. AMC's hit drug lord drama surrounding a chemistry teacher with cancer-turned-crystal meth kingpin rode out 5 solid seasons and ended with the finesse of an Olympic gymnast landing perfectly on the beam. In the finale, we see nearly every major character get their proper send-off, but the bulk of the episode was Walter White's exit, as it should be. Walter knew that after everything that went down, he needed to amend what he could for the people that he loved, even though he admitted that he became Heisenberg for himself and no one else. He knew it needed to end with him, and so in the most moving and artistic way, Walter dies after catching a few bullets to his gut and bleeds out in his lab where he took his own personal drug of cooking and died on the floor as Badfinger's song Baby Blue played in the background. The lyrics read, "Guess I got what I deserved, that special love I have for you, my baby blue," an homage to Heisenberg's signature blue crystal meth. DEA agents close in on Walter's body as the audience fades away from the bittersweet but brilliant moment. Up until this point, no other show in the last 5 years has pulled off a series finale as seamlessly as Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones will go down in history as one of the greatest shows to ever grace our TV screens, which is why Sunday's finale stung so bad. The HBO epic managed to deliver an underwhelming, confusing, and at times frustrating final episode that made fans who had stuck with the series since 2011 have mixed reactions on investing so much time on the show. In a nutshell, the finale opens up showing the aftermath of Daenerys' Mad Queen rampage when she burned down all of King's Landing. A disapproving Tyrion Lannister gives up his position as Hand of the Queen and gets tossed into jail once again. Jon grapples with the fact that the woman he once loved and believed in is a villainous tyrant just like the rest of them, and an imprisoned Tyrion tries to urge Jon to kill her so that he can accept his rightful place on the Iron Throne. Jon listens, kills Dany, and Drogon mourns his mother's death and burns the very throne that drove her to her madness. Cut to a brand new council consisted of Sam, Arya, Bran, Sansa, Ser Davos, and more, waiting to decide where to go from here. Cut to Tyrion suggesting Bran, aka Bran the Broken, become king of the 7 kingdoms, and everyone agreeing, while besides Sansa, who says the North will remain independent. Cut to Jon being summoned to the Night's Watch once again, and cut to angry fans taking to Twitter to lament their once beloved show that could do no wrong. It wasn't all bad though. We got a few nods to potential spin-offs, the most obvious one being Arya's journey to whatever is west of Westeros. There was also some satisfaction in the fact that Sansa became Queen of the North. And who can forget that heartwarming reunion between Jon and Ghost once he gets back to the Wall before leaving it all behind and leading the Free Folk north. Still, for the most part, all of the storylines that were wrapped up fell flat for most, and now a show that was once revered as the GOAT will be remembered as one of the more disappointing finales in television history. So there you have it. What did you guys think of the Game of Thrones series finale? Were you satisfied, disappointed? Did you sign the petition for a redo of season 8? Sound off in the comment section below, and as always, for more stories like this, keep it locked to Complex on YouTube. For Complex News, I'm Natasha Martinez.